Today is gonna be a pretty short session, I'm thinking. So I'm not gonna like do a warm-up or anything, I'm just kinda gonna... I'm just gonna like spam attempts and see how it goes. Cause like if I did a warm-up right now, I would only I would do like one attempt and then I would have to end sesh. I think I was... You cannot be. As I was saying, I think if I get another posse choke, I'm probably just gonna start doing attempts from start. Or at the very least, like, alternating between start attempts and full fortress attempts. Chill. Watch me like one tap. By the 6th entry this session. Watch me one tap full fortress actually. I gotta listen to more Delta Funky Homo Sapien. I still haven't heard Deltron 3030 somehow. This is because I am a I think that last song just got on my Discover Weekly one day, and I was like, this is good, I will listen to it. I need to make like a full list of albums where I've heard one song on them from my Discover Weekly and I haven't heard the rest. I listened to like one album like that. I forget the name of the actual album, but it's the album with... what's it called again? It's by Tram. I think it's like... Nothing More to Say or something like that? I get to the word Y and DR and this message stops making any sense. Side note, this is reminding me that I should probably not be reading Schadenfreude as my, like, before bed book. I'm kind of just, like, taking it in as a sensory experience. Back. What the fuck they got going on in Boston? Also up. Also, if I lose this attempt in a stupid way, I'm gonna blame it on thinking about the what the fuck they got going on in Miami video. Down. Okay, you know that video good. It's a good video. Shit just disappeared. Up. Back. Almost got hit on the double powder there. This might be the best song on this album, honestly. We thought the Wordle was in here. White people be like random tidbit. I'm white people, by the way. Crazy work? Fuck, I gotta listen to brain disease. Every time I think... It's weird for me, because, like, music is probably the medium where I'm the closest to, like, being, like, comfortable with how much I've heard or engaged with. But I'm still permanently just like, oh, I gotta listen to that, oh, I gotta listen to that, oh, I gotta listen to that. It's less overbearing than with other mediums, at least, because I've heard most of the stuff that, like, majorly intrigues me. With movies or books, there's stuff that's like, I know it's gonna change my brain chemistry that I just haven't gotten around to. Ellie Girl Slop final words. I wish I consumed more media. Okay. I should probably assume a less dog shit posture. I'm so lucky I have no plans of ever using face cam because I do not want to get cooked for my posture. My Japanese reading was like not on point there for a while. I was flipping Mega Drain and Ancient Power for some reason. I have like zero expectations for this session, by the way. I'm just playing because I think playing consistently is good. And I can have a... I feel like I can have, like, a meaningful-ish session, even if it's not that meaningful. Like, the bones of a meaningful session are here. As meaningful as, like, a no warm-up, probably 30-minute session can be. I have, like, a spreadsheet of stuff in different mediums where I have, like, extremely high expectations for it. Not necessarily, like, potential future fictions that could enter my top 10 trademark, but, like, once I get around to this, it's gonna change, it's gonna fuck my shit up. Parentheses positive. Still haven't listened to Blaine Woods' album from last year somehow. To be honest, like, to be fair, I did skip out on it when it released because I knew I wasn't going to be in the headspace for it. Not even necessarily that I was in a bad headspace at that time. I just had AP tests coming up and the album was like... People were saying it's like a horror movie, but an album. And I'm like, not the time to be listening to that. I've heard it's like among his best work though. Hi Pixel. This is like a chill, very low expectation session. Somehow I've still only listened to like one Billy Lynn solo album, and this is like the only, this is like the only Arm Hammer album I've heard. Shit, now I'm just thinking about that one stupid gif where it's like white boys when the hip hop ain't abstract or whatever. I need to like beat those allegations. I really gotta fucking like tap into trap more at some point. Up. Up. Back. Down. Thought I was gonna get the kill on the actual pattern and not get shooting out, but Phil. I should probably give this album another listen. There's a lot of songs on it where I just like kinda wasn't really like gelling with the instrumental, but now that I've heard more stuff, I feel like I could like appreciate it more. Is this the first, like, non-rap song to roll all stream? I think it is. Wasn't this song playing at the end of, like, some good attempt? Oh, I think this is what was playing at the end of the 17 hit. What if they made imaginary words? It's like imaginary numbers, but for words. Square root of negative the. New idea. Could Red come in here so that we could actually get, like, a meaningful, like, sample of what this would mean, because she knows math and also knows linguistics? I'm just a linguistics Andy. That should have gone hit, probably. Wily 4 on a chill, no expectations session. Endgame is straight up late work at this point. I swear, in like 2024, this playlist used to, like, love to roll this song every single time I put it on in, like, 2024. Without fail. Without fail. I think this is, like, maybe my... No, this isn't... It's not my most listened anymore, but for a while, this was, like, my most listened fucking Beatles song purely because Playlist RNG loved it. Now I think Helter Skelter overtook it? Yeah, it was Helter Skelter that overtook. Which is, like, probably a top 2 Beatles song, so fair enough. Yeah. I kind of forget that that's, like, a motivating factor for a lot of people, because my parents have always just kind of been, like, chill with whatever I wanted to do. And also, I kind of knew, like, early on that, like, what my family was doing was, like, not what I would want to do, because, my mom works as, like, an elementary school reading specialist, and my dad just has, like, a generic office job for some company that, for the purposes of describing the job, doesn't really matter. And, like, that's chill at all, it's just not what I want to be doing, you know? I think I used to want to be, like, an elementary school teacher when I was younger, but that was, like, independent of what my mom was doing. And now I recognize that I would, like, die in that environment frame one. Check mark. Honestly, if it was like a codified thing that was like a reasonably expectable career path, like, high school linguistics teacher seems like it would be a really cool job, but like, that barely exists. I think it's just, like, the idea of, like, being, like, a student's, like, first proper contact with the, like, the field, but also at a level where they're not expected to, like, have any experience with it. Because, like, if you're majoring in it in college, you're kind of, to some degree, expected to know what you're getting into, I guess. But in, like, high school, that's just an elective. So it can be, like, if I were to walk in that scenario, I could, like, hook someone on the field, which would be completely sick. And also, like, give them a sense of, like, what they want to go into before uni. I think at one point there was, like, talks of making an AP Linguistics course, but they fell through pretty quickly. Like, probably, like, 5+ years ago at this point. There isn't. If that's what you thought AP Lang is just like a non-fiction writing/reading course. Okay, yeah, then... Lit is just kind of a... Lit is just like a college lit course, basically. I think AP Lit kind of taught me, or like is teaching me, that like I don't really gel with like literature classes as much as I thought I would, even though I like have a passion for the subject to some degree. I think it's just the whole like forcing myself to read and like come up with interpretations that I may not, for text that like I may just not have interpretations for. Also, I did not care about that Wily 5 entry. Holy shit. We were in Wily 5, but I was too busy talking to like, do spread walk well, and I lost the run for it. That's a really good sign, actually. That's an extremely good sign that I can just still be having a conversation at, like, the halfway point of Wily 5 on a full Fortress attempt. After, like, Stone, Tornado, and Snake. That is an extremely good omen. I am so chill. Chill girl, illegal slap. That's what they call me. I don't even know why Chill Guy Joe Burrow is like one of the most fun sequences of syllables to say ever, but it just is. A very good set of syllables. I'm kind of surprised with how, like, generally fast my pace has been for this grind as a whole. Not, like, progress-wise, even though I did get progress way quicker than I expected. Like, I just didn't think I would be able to play through this game, like, as quick as I am. Not to, like, sound egotistical or whatnot, but I do think that my gameplay has generally looked really clean when I'm not trying to back stuff up. Especially for, like, Gemini fight and whatnot. And, like, I didn't think I would ever get to a point where, like, you would be able to play this game this clean when I started this grind. Like, I would not have expected myself to get this consistent at this game before, like, the 300-hour mark before I started. Which is just kind of, I'm nasty, but also partially, I was glazing the shit out of this before I had a proper sense of its difficulty. I do definitely see a world where this is, like, the hardest Mega Man thing when it happens, though. I'm not gonna say that definitively until I have Mega Man 3 no-hit, just to, like, compare and contrast. But I will say this is, like, definitely more of, like, a proper, like, full-on skill test. Nothing in this is as hard to do consistently as Doc Quick is in 3. But 3 is just, like, Doc Quick in 3 is just kind of a crapshoot sometimes. If there wasn't the strat for Shadow Man where you could just ride Rush Jet to, like, deal with a lot of the deal with the fight a lot safer, I feel like it would be a lot closer of a call in my mind. I'd probably be willing to give the edge to 3, honestly. If you had to play... Honestly, you would probably have to do it, like, Buster only, besides the last, besides being able to, like, get the last 7 HP with Top Spin. I don't know how you would get, like, 4 Vanilla Mega Man 3 top spin hits off safely. Back. Up. The thing with 3 is that its difficulty is very concentrated in specific places. Mostly in the Dock Robot stages, and the Wily stages are like among the easiest in the series. I forgot this was in the playlist, this is chill. Down. This was in the playlist before I even, like, put... I think this was in, like, one of the first streams I did with playlist music, was when I put this on. Up. I think it was Roka saying this, like, the stream had, like a late 2000s, early 2010s YouTube vibe to it, so I was just like, let's just pop Figure 11 Paralyzer, fuck it. I have nothing to lose. Chill. This song is genuinely really good, is the thing that makes it funnier. Even if this is like the least take-seriousable riff of all time, due to factors outside its own control. Also, I wonder how long it would have taken for this specific thing to happen if I never got the idea to go for it. Genuinely, I've been thinking that, like, if I don't get this idea, this might genuinely, like, never happen. It is... I've talked about this a lot, but I have this, like, general, like, challenge gaming, like, theorem, where the most important thing in determining whether or not an accomplishment will happen is not its difficulty, but how much people care about it, relative to its difficulty. Like, hold on, I have an example, like, right now. Osu got a Crystalia DTFC before it got Dream Solicitor 3 Mon FC. Not because Dream Solicitor 3 Mon is harder than Crystalia DT. Not in the fucking slightest. But, like, the person who is capable of getting Crystalia DT cared more about getting it than, like, any of the however many people who are good enough to FC Dream Solicitor 3 mod. Any of them care about FCing Dream Solicitor 3 mod. And that is the reason why Crystalia got a DTFC before Dream Solicitor got a 3 mod FC. The pool of people good enough to, like, go for it or even entertain it cared about it more. Now, obviously, there's limits to this. I say, like, relative to difficulty, but it's also relative to, like, stuff that would make someone not want to grind it. Like, if there's, like, a 99.99 RNG check, or, like, you fail it 99.99% of the time on something that's already hard enough to be, like, hardest thing in the game without it, I don't think caring harder is gonna make someone wanna, like, beat a top 10, beat, like, the hardest thing in the game, like, literally 10,000 times, just to pass the RNG check, but, like, you know, there's levels to it. There's levels to it. Why did that first phase feel so sketchy? I was deadass just fear-baiting that entire fight. What is my problem? I was fear-baiting that entire fight. I should have gotten hit like 5 separate times, realistically. I should probably try to 5x Porygon at some point soon. Maybe this session's like inconsistency on it is just a matter of like not warming up as a conscious decision. Alright, fair enough. Good night. They got Parrot-Dash Chatters in bed at a reasonable hour. Parrot-Dash Chatter in bed before 11 PM, shocked. I've been trying to, like, sleep earlier lately, if only so that I can, like, actually justify reading before going to bed again. Also, this is gonna sound really stupid, but I was, like, lurking in the, or not lurking, I was, like, just checking in on the Red Ball speedrunning server. And then I just saw a post that was, like, scientific proof that sleeping 6 hours is, like, a debuff. For, like, stuff like this. Because it's, like, less alertness, and you don't recognize it because you don't get as tired easily as, like, pulling an all-nighter or something. And I was just like, fuck. I've been the 6 hours of sleep Andy for like a good while now because of school. That's dire. That's quite dire indeed. I think the most valuable lesson I've gotten from this year of school is that 6 hours of sleep is not as much the vibe as I thought it was, at least if you're doing it consistently. I gotta wake up at like 6:30 AM and I'm not even a mile from my school. Lately I've been like actually out of bed at like 6:45-ish. It's like... The thing is, for me, it just takes a while for my eyes to, like, adjust to being awake. So, like, after my alarm goes off, I gotta, like, still stay in bed for a bit so that my eyes are, like, actually capable of being open. That one friend who's from Boston. That one friend who's from the Boston area. Yeah, the actual start of the school day over here is 7:30 AM. We get out at 2:17 PM on the dot, though, so it's chill. Famously. Yeah, Texas is, like... That's part of why Texas is, like, my personal #1 hell dimension state. I think it's going... I think it, like, moved past Florida in that regard for me. Because of the behold cars before everyone else infrastructure. The only good thing to come out of Texas is San Antonio Spurs basketball, I think. Texas is a dystopian nightmare state, but they have Victor Wembanyama, so it's impossible to tell if it's good or bad. Texas and Florida are like the two main states where like it is in my life goals to never enter them. Not like never enter them if I have to. Life goal is to not have to enter them ever. It used to be Florida over Texas, but now it's Texas over Florida in that regard. I'll take your word. I'll take your word. Ain't that the weird one? You're weird. I can't do like the fucking that's the outro of One Beer, right? That's where that like thing is from, where it's like it's the sample from, like, the one superhero show of the kids just saying, "You're weird." Anytime I, like, just type out, "You're weird," that's, like, the intonation I'm trying to replicate. I'm trying to sound like that one kid. Yeah. I don't think I can make my voice high-pitched enough to, like, fully replicate it, unfortunately. The Blade attempted question. The thing is, I used to, like, do choir up until, like, my freshman year of high school, and then I just didn't have the time for it anymore. I like to think that I'm a competent-ish singer. But my vocal range is, like, pretty low. Hello. I forget if I was tenor or bass. I think I might have been bass, honestly. It's true. Barbershop quarter, but it's just like a barbershop quarter. It's just like a coin. To be fair, R and T are like right next to each other. This is not that egregious a typo. You're calling it the chillest flame entry ever? I was kind of worried getting hung up on that wall would have fucked me, but... Fifth time's the charm. Finally, dude! Oh my god! Oh my god! 4 posse deaths! And I finally have a Wily 6 entry. On a no expectation session. On a no expectation session. Okay, run it back. Thank God for this being infinitely retriable. Thank God for this being infinitely retriable. There we go. Listen. I misspaced. Fair enough. I set up the bait, I just misspaced it. I'll play the fight for practice. So now I'm, like, permanently stuck in the mines. I am stuck in the mines. I made, like, a deal to myself that I would let myself go back to attempts from start if I had a 5th posse choke before Wily 6 entry. That's a fine hit. I'm like... If that happens, like, 3 times before I get a Wily machine entry, I'm gonna be crashing out, but, like... Right now, that's fine. That's just a hard thing to execute on. It is one of the hardest things to execute on in any of the stages of this game, so I'm fine with that. And, like, Full Fortress 1 hit is still extremely good. Is still extremely good. Oh, well, I'm fucked anyway. I spaced out and forgot to wait. Get ready to learn center screen! Get ready to learn center screen shield walks, buddy! Get ready to learn center screen shield walks, buddy. I forgot to wait until the sine wave attack. And I instantly ate shit for it. That's a really funny way to, like, not be like, this would have been the run if I didn't. That's a really funny way to kill that thought process. Okay, I'll update the thing. Thanks. Fundamentally unserious, but I don't care. I did Wily 1 to Wily 5. I don't really care about anything else. I got a Wily 6 entry. Good night, Pixel. This is, like, the proof that I need. This is me getting over the hump, I think. That's me getting over the hump. Smoking that posse pack. Rust and piss won't be missed. Where did the 9 come from? Did JJ McCarthy get here? AIOU, what do you know about Minnesota Vikings football? Okay, this has to be the last attempt. Like, definitively. Hopefully it dies to, like, something funny and... I see. Hey guys, Peter Griffin here to explain the joke. Oh wait, I need to do my I need to try and see if I can actually do a Peter Griffin impression. Hey guys, Peter Griffin here to explain the joke. So basically, Minnesota Vikings have this player named JJ McCarthy. I can't keep it up. So basically the Vikings have this guy JJ McCarthy, and like one day he was just like, my alter ego is 9. And then the second that happened, he started playing like dog shit. How is your Peter Griffin voice so good? I don't know. I never even, like, trained it. I never even trained it. I can just do it. I'm not even, like, from New England. It's stolen valor. Back when I, like, came to terms with what I was, I did want to have, like, a Peter Griffin impression in the back pocket, just because I thought it would be really funny to be able to bust that out. And despite never training it, I'm actually fairly decent. Shut up, Meg. Is that anything? I don't even know if I've ever, like, watched the full episode of Family Guy, actually. All of my knowledge of it has been in, like, cultural osmosis. I kind of hope I just, like, die to Porygon or something, because it's late. Honestly. Can I, like, fuck up the block double pattern or something? Please? Genuinely, I'm starting to think that Wily 4 to end 2x in a row is not that unviable. Back. Down. Up. Back. Down. I should re-listen to this album. This song would make a crazy Tycho gimmick map, I can't lie. Okay, can I please die to like being one frame off on Porygon Phase 2 or something so that I can end the session? And not, like, yell really loudly? Go with whatever she wants. Genuinely, I think once I get full fortress, I'm already in, like, end game for this grind. With the consistency that I've had so far. Okay, good. Good. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. Okay. Cheat time. I almost wasn't even gonna have this session. I genuinely almost was not even gonna have this session. And I get the Wily 600. A girl who actually can quit whenever she wants. Oh, almost exactly an hour. 80 hours today, yay! Genuinely, I think there is now a non-zero chance that I do this in some Mega Man 1 no-hit. It's probably not more than like a 5% chance, but that's still greater than 0. Okay, who do we raid? Who do we raid? I'm gonna raid Ghost. I'm gonna raid. Yeah, yeah. I'm so happy that I actually took care of this. I am so happy that I actually took care of this